Hi, Acadiana. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker. Welcome to Friday, a big weekend ahead. Some festivals going on, including the Sugarcane Festival in New Iberia. Beautiful weekend on tap. Warm during the day, but pleasantly cool during the evening hours. A real quick shout out to my friends over at Ritter Consulting Engineers. Before the storm hits, make sure the stuff that matters is in Matterport. Ritter Consulting Engineers can create 3D imaging of your home or business for insurance purposes, and it will all be in Matterport. Call 984-8498 or visit their website. They have you covered before and after the storm. Gorgeous start to our morning here in Acadiana with clear skies, a little bit of a breeze, low humidity, and temperatures that have dropped nicely, starting to feel a little bit more like fall across the region. And if you have to do some driving this morning, fog is not going to be a problem out there, and all of the roadways are dry, so you shouldn't have too many weather issues this time around on your morning commute. Those that are heading off to school this morning, a pleasant start at the bus stop with temperatures in the mid-60s, and even when you get home from school later today, temperatures will be hovering in the mid-80s. Most of the region has dropped into the 60s, a few 50s in the northern sections, and right around 70 as you get right on the water there toward the coast. Of course, all of the inclement weather is off to our east, where Tropical Storm Helene is now moving across parts of the southeast. It made landfall yesterday as a Category 4 hurricane there in the Big Bend area of Florida. Of course, we've had a front go through which kept all of the tropical weather off toward the east, and that's going to bring us sunshine over the weekend. Temperatures should reach the mid to upper 80s today with low humidity and a nice northwesterly breeze. And then as we go into the weekend, what's left of Helene will kind of spin around in the Tennessee Valley. Might throw a few high, thin clouds at us by the end part of the weekend, but I really think we're going to stay with mostly sunny skies as that upper level low kind of absorbs what's left of Helene and then just kind of hangs out there over the southeast for a couple of days before another trough will finally kick it out of the way and bring some better weather for our friends off to the east. And there's a lot of folks that are without power now. At last check, it was about 2.5 million households in Florida, Georgia, South and North Carolina that are without power, but we're hoping that we can get a little wraparound coolness for those folks so they won't have to deal with the extreme heat like so many of us do after tropical storms and hurricanes. In the offshore waters, it's still pretty rough out there. The small craft advisory is expiring, but those winds are still going to be pretty brisk out of the northwest, but they'll diminish to about 15 knots this afternoon, with seas running about 3 to 5 feet early on and then 2 to 3 feet later in the day. But skies will generally be clear with some high, thin clouds over the western part of the Gulf. What's left of Helene will continue to slide inland, and looking at some of the webcams, St. George Island, which had more of an offshore flow, they were just on the west side of the eye, looking okay this morning. They did have some storm surge flooding, but all the heavy rains have continued to move inland, and that's a look at Atlanta, Georgia. The rains are coming down, and you see the camera shaking, so they've got some gusty tropical storm force winds that are out there, and what's left of Helene will continue to dissipate over parts of the Smoky Mountains and moving into eastern portions of Tennessee. Elsewhere, we still have Tropical Storm Isaac that's continuing over the middle part of the Atlantic Ocean, and we've also got a tropical wave that's moving westward over the Caribbean Sea. We talked a little bit about the moisture from that kind of coming into that Central American gyre sometime next week, which could potentially produce yet another tropical system over the northwestern part of the Gulf, especially as we get into October. That is the area that is a prime region for development this time of the year. And then, of course, we've got a couple of other systems out there. Rather, Isaac, not a tropical storm, misspoke there. It is now a hurricane, but it will stay out in the middle part of the Atlantic. No problems for anybody there. Of course, we'll go over all of that on Let's Talk Tropics and what to expect over the next week to 10 days. That'll be live at noon right here on Acadiana Weather Today. Up to 87 for your high today with mostly sunny skies, 65 tonight, and for the rest of our weekend, we're looking at sunshine. Temperatures will be mild with highs in the upper 80s to around 90 and nighttime temperatures in the 60s. If you are doing stuff outside, remember that humidity is low. You won't be sweating as much, but you'd have to remember to continue to drink plenty of water, especially if you're doing some work outside or if you're enjoying the Sugarcane Festival in New Iberia this weekend. Well, I hope you enjoy Acadiana Weather Today. If you do, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also turn on those notifications. That way you know when Let's Talk Tropics starts later today at noon and between broadcasts and over the weekend. For any updates, please check out my social media pages both on Facebook and X. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker. If I don't see you at noon, have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday.